you hope to?
For me, it feels like there are so many opportunities, and you know, if I'm bored, sometimes I take a look at the App Store and I look at specialized apps for teaching, and there are so many opportunities we can use, and they look so interesting, and I already really want to use them because they look so good, but it's kind of revolutionary for us because when we were students, teaching was just like standing in front of the board and everybody in the class was doing the same and writing in our exercise books. I don't know, what do you guys think about it?
Yeah, I totally agree with you. When I did my internship a few weeks ago, I experienced that a lot because there's so many opportunities, but the teachers, they're not really professionals in it. And I understand that it takes a lot of time and that there are a lot of teachers that are maybe a little bit older and they're not really into digitals or social medias or all of that, and they have to get used to it and they have to get into the topic and have to learn a lot, but we have the big advantage that we grew up with it and then we can embed it. How do you say that? Embedded. Embedded in the classroom, and we can already, like in this course, learn about it and then use it later.
True. So what I experienced in England in the secondary school, it was much easier for me to get used to the new technologies they use. For example, the whiteboard and Active Inspire. I never heard of it before, but it was quite easy just to use it in Kahoot and those kind of apps. In Germany, only one teacher, she used her iPad, and that was the only thing ever in the whole 4 weeks. So I think it's easier for us to get used to the new technology and to use it in the classroom and to teach it to our students.
And I mean, we ourselves already notice how much more fun it makes when there's some kind of technology involved, and also a process of creating a individual output instead of just sitting there and listening and taking our notes. And I think this is so important for the learning process of the students and also how to keep them motivated.
Yeah. What I experienced in New Zealand, they had a MacBook class, and they got a lot more independent because they had to work on a big project for a few weeks, and then in the end they presented everything and they were really proud, and that's what we did, and that was not just repeating what the teacher told them before, and then like it usually works, unfortunately.
Yeah, so what you said, it's about the individual output, and I guess this is also a point of differentiation.
Yeah.
So because you have those kind of different outputs and everybody can work on their own and on their own level, it's quite good. So
what I think with the Kahoot, for example, and all that kind of games, it's a lot of teamwork and it's a competition and it's like a game. And it's fun. That's what they do in their free time as well. Yeah. So if you have a quiz, for example, and you have a team or you work on your own, you want to be fast, you want to have the right answer. And if you write, you're happy. But if you teach and you just ask someone, what's the answer, or what did we do last week? And the student is right. It's not like, oh yes, I got the answer. It's like, it's always the same students who raise their hands, and the others, they're too shy, for example. And when you include games, everyone has to participate, and it's like, it's anonymous. Anonymous.
Yeah.
And
And also imagine how much media competences the students gain from this, from engaging with different programs and apps and all that kind of stuff, which they also are gonna need later in their future when they work somewhere, when they have to do a presentation. I mean, PowerPoint really is outdated, and it's from yesterday. And today, if you want to do an innovative presentation, you better find a different program, because every other presentation is going to be from PowerPoint. And everybody has to come up with a innovative and new and also a creative way. And I think today is so much more about individualization than a few years ago, and that's what we have to learn, and also what we have to implement in our classroom.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's basically it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What
I
do
would
you
also
think?
say.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we support medias in our classroom.
Yes.
Okay, cool.